Well, Scott Nathan is an award-winning photographer who has worked with some of entertainment's biggest names, from legendary comics to burlesque royalty and even some of our famous pop stars. But now it's his off-set stories that are really getting people talking.
So after sharing his entertaining encounters online, the self-confessed misfit magnate went viral and decided to swap snapping for writing. The Book of Bad Decisions is a tell-all memoir filled with Scott's wildest and most wonderful adventures of a life behind the lens.
Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
it?
Scott Nathan joins us now live from LA. Welcome to the show.
Matt, Kylie, great to be here with you.
You say you'd always had a passion for photography, but it suddenly got real when you were fired from a project. What happened?
Well, I was always a photographer as an enthusiast. I just never thought to turn pro. And one day, and I was always the guy, you know, in the clubs and out and about with a camera when no one was really taking pictures. It wasn't a thing. And then I started playing golf with kind of a famous celebrity photographer friend of mine, and he said, you know, my brother and I have decided you're turning pro. And I said, you guys, I'm finally making a living at something. I'm not starting a career in the arts in my mid-30s. And they said, yes, you are. And they owned a studio called Smashbox, which was also a cosmetics empire, and they said, please use it. So I said, all right, let's have a go. So he said, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about studio lighting and handling a celebrity shoot and working with publicists, and you're going to teach me everything about the emerging professional digital photography. So that's what I did. I was his digital tech, and he said, the day will come where I don't feel like I can teach you anything more, and I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to fire you one day, and you are going to go work on your own, and you have to promise me you won't go assist other photographers. And I said, you have my word. And one day, a year in, he said, thank you, everyone. Thank you, hair. Thank you, makeup. Thank you, wardrobe. Scott, you're fired. And I said, wait, what? And he said, I told you it's time to get out of the nest, little birdie. Time to fly.
Well, you were a pretty quick student, obviously. You actually then helped put one pop star in the public eye with your photography. Tell us about working with Katy Perry.
So Katy Perry was someone I met literally on the street. My girlfriend Dahlia at the time were out for a festive and boozy dinner, and we decided to go have a drink at a very tough to get into place. And as we were walking in, I saw this odd-looking lady and a cute girl in a bright green dress with white polka dots, with white high heels and white sunglasses on and a fake fur coat. And she goes, excuse me, excuse me. And I said, yeah, what's up? She goes, do you guys know how to get into this place? And we were feeling festive and fun, and she was alone. And I said, yeah, she's with us. Come on in. So Katy Perry joined us, and we started talking, and she said, I'm a singer. I've just moved here from Santa Barbara. And she said, will you listen to my demo? And she gave me a 7-song demo CD.
Wow.
And I was like, this girl is amazing. I'm going to go see her live. So she was playing, coffee houses in this place called the Hotel Cafe, and I brought my little camcorder. And you could see some of that footage from 2006 on my YouTube channel. And I said, this girl is special. And then I booked my first cosmetics campaign, my first global beauty campaign for Too Faced Cosmetics. And so we started casting models. So the first day I saw about 110, 120 blondes. I found my perfect girl. And then the second day I was casting brunettes. I saw about the same. Couldn't find anyone I liked. So I went back to the CEO and I said, can we see girls from New York? And they said, we can't afford to fly models from New York. You better find somebody. So I said, let me just have one more day of casting. So I saw another 30 or 40 models the following day. And again, I didn't see anyone that I loved. So I said, I called the CEO late at night and I said, I've got an idea. He said, what is it? I said, I've got this girl. He said, who is she? What agency is she with? And I said, listen, she's not tall enough to be a model. She's not thin enough to be a model, but I think she's going places. And he said, what's her name? I said, Katy Perry. He said, I've never heard of her. I said, will you take a meeting with her? They said, we'll take a meeting with her, but if we don't like her, we're picking a model from the tape. So I called Katy and I said, we're going to Orange County the next day. And she said, what do I have to do? I said, you got to charm 2 gay guys in a room. She said, that's my jam. That's what I do. And we sold it. We went through her MySpace page. We listened to her demos and we sold it in the room. And it was just very lucky. And I never set out to be a beauty photographer. But as the saying goes, you chop down one tree and everyone thinks you're a lumberjack.
Hope you're getting some royalties, Scott, that's for sure. Have you ever been starstruck?
I've been starstruck twice. The first time was by Paul McCartney backstage at a show of his. And the second time was with Maureen McCormick recently, who played Marsha Brady on The Brady Bunch.
Wow. You've had so many entertaining encounters on the job, lots that you can't share on TV. You've written this book, Big Book of Bad Decisions. Why did you decide to write it?
I didn't decide to write it. I started making it as a series of like social media dispatch just to make my friends laugh on Facebook. And then they started blowing up. They started getting really popular and shared. And then my girlfriend at the time, Amanda, was like, why don't you put these into a blog? So I put a dozen or so of them into a blog. And then we're in Joshua Tree for the weekend and she says, hey, have you checked your blog analytics? And I said, blogs have analytics? And she says, yeah, you idiot, go look at them. So I said, okay. And I said, 1.7 million people have read these blogs. Is that good? And she goes, yeah, that's good. Why don't you make them into a book? So I started assembling them into a book. There we go.
Well, you are definitely a fabulous and talented storyteller, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Scott. For more of Scott's fascinating celebrity stories, you can pick up a copy of his memoir. It's called The Big Book of Bad Decisions, and it's out now.